Setsucon 2019, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Setsucon was an anime convention held on January 26th and 27th, 2019 at the Blair County Convention Center in Altoona, Pennsylvania. This is a con coming off their big move that was relatively successful. Let's see how they did this year. For the good, the Blair County Convention Center might be Setsucon's greatest resource. They have the space, they have the staff, and it seems like they have the level of cooperation to help Setsucon continue growing, and I hope Setsucon stays here for many years. The con got to use the downstairs for the first time by accident. This was due to an elevator breaking, and traffic was rerouted through some of the lower convention space. A lot of future there, a lot of room. The food court was moved downstairs this year. This happened due to some maintenance going on upstairs, and it allowed for traffic to flow smoother than last year. It also meant there was actually a bunch of nice seating that was really good for people who wanted to sit down and eat their food. I will continue to compliment online registration forever and ever and ever, because I was one of those attendees for years and years and years that mailed in their registration. The online reg is so easy. The staff continued to improve this year. Staffing was a weakness for Setsucon for many, many years. This seems to be some of their most veteran staff members they've had. A lot of the volunteers seem competent, and it's a nice change. Panels attendance was surprisingly brisk this year, even Sunday, where panel rooms had a really decent amount of attendees in them. Saturday was good attendance as expected, but boy, those people attending panels on Sunday, that's a big thing. The con did one of the more innovative things I've seen in a long time. They put the map on the back of the badge. That is a tremendously good idea. Yes, the map had one or two errors on it due to some last-minute changes with the food court and the elevator, but oh, this is such a great idea for new attendees. I didn't see this myself till about midday Saturday, but this is an excellent idea and they executed it well. There was really nothing downright terrible or bad. For the ugly, what should have been better? They need an online guide. Yes, they're sometimes not cheap. Yes, sometimes they're hard to edit, but it makes everything just so much easier, especially with updates. Yes, Setsucon has a PDF, but that's really not an equivalent solution. And paper schedules are really obsolete in many ways. I know many attendees use them, but that online guide would give them so much more flexibility. I'd like to see a little bit more depth in the guests next year, specifically the voice actors. I had to look up who these people were this year. I had no clue. And I would actually say this year at Setsucon, I attended the least voice actor guest panels. At a con like Setsucon, it's really good to attend voice actor panels, because often they're not as crowded as they are at larger conventions. I'd like to see somebody a little bit higher, maybe a B+ voice actor come. It just would add a little bit more depth and experience to the lineup. One of the issues this con has had for a long time, they need to up their social media game a lot. I saw very little buzz for this convention coming in to the point it concerned me, especially on Twitter. They need to start doing a lot more year-round posting, try to get the audience a little more involved, keep the Facebook group a little bit more active. It's something they really need to do to start attracting more attendees. My last issue here is somewhat of a minor one, but I'd like to see a little bit of work done in the panel rooms. Had some minor tech issues, and the good thing was the staff really did help fixing them. But I'd also like to see staff that know how to control the lights a little bit more, because it could really help seeing your panel that's going on up on the big screen. These are relatively minor issues. I think they could be easily fixed for next year. Overall, this convention continues to move in the right direction again. Especially after being on death's door 2 years ago, this convention has vastly improved. It has become a competitor among the Pennsylvania anime conventions again, and it's just moving in the right direction. Now the convention needs to start looking at the future, because for several years when they're at the Penn Stater, they were starting to grow stale again. They were starting to slow down. What the convention needs to do is start looking on where they can do improvements and where they can evolve. Start getting deeper content. Start looking at where things can get better. The convention's pretty good right now, but they can always do better, and let's not try to repeat their slowdown that was starting to occur at the Penn Stater. I'm giving the convention a B-. This is not a weak B-. This is a very strong B-. I'm not sure I've ever ranked the convention this high before. I'd have to look over my notes. In fact, this might have been their best convention since possibly 2008. But I'd like to see continued improvement. I'd like to see some deeper content. But it's starting to look like a real competitor again, and that's a good thing. Thanks for watching.